Hello students. Today we'll talk about two topics. Can we convert galvanometer into ammeter? What are the difficulties in using galvanometer as ammeter and how do we overcome? So first we'll see what are the difficulties when we try to use galvanometer as current measuring device and then we'll see the remedies, how to convert. Okay, so let us start. Now, we know that in case of galvanometer, we have K phi, that is restoring torque, equal to NIAB, and all the other terms being constant, we know that deflection phi is proportional to current passing through it. And then this indicates that when you talk about any galvanometer, in case of galvanometer, you have a scale which is ranging from 0 to 30 or 50 depending on the galvanometer, and in middle you have 0. So when not being used, the pointer is on 0, and when the current is passed, suppose the deflection comes to say 10, suppose the pointer is indicating 10. Does it mean that it is 10 ampere or 10 milliampere? No, it is not meaning that it is 10 milliampere or 10 ampere, because this 0, 10, 20, 30 are mere number. They are just indicating that current has increased or decreased, but it is not ampere or milliampere. So these readings cannot be considered as measurement of current. Okay, and but as indicated by this equation, there is some relation of current and deflection. So if we can calibrate this scale properly, we should be able to use this device as current measuring device. So it should be possible to use galvanometer as ammeter. Now there are some issues, some problems when we try to use galvanometer as ammeter. Let us talk about the problems when we try to use galvanometer as ammeter. See, first of all, we should be knowing that any current measuring device has to be connected in series. So, what happens? Suppose if I consider a battery of say 10 volt connected to a 200 ohm resistor. How much is the current passing through it? So, we know that V is equal to IR and I is equal to V by R. And then I have 10 by 200. What is 10 by 200? 0.05 ampere. So in this circuit, the theoretical value of current is 0.05 ampere. Now we are talking about measurement. So what happens when you try to measure? First of all, you will have to connect your current measuring device in series with the component. So if 200 ohm resistor is our component through which we want to find out current, we will have to connect current measuring device in series. So I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to measure current with galvanometer, and so I have connected galvanometer in series. See, this galvanometer is connected in series with 200 ohm resistor. And I'm talking about the same 10 volt battery, 200 ohm resistor. And now, see, theoretically we know that if we consider the current now, let the current be denoted by I prime. How much it will be? Now it is not only V by R. Now I'll have to consider V by R plus G. Why? Because galvanometer has added its own resistance in the circuit. And then what is the current value now? 10 by 200 plus G. How much is G? Suppose if G in this case is considered to be 100 ohm, then it will be 10 by 300. What is 10 by 300? 0.033 ampere. And so what galvanometer will indicate is this number. Actually, galvanometer is supposed to indicate 0.05, but as it has added its own resistance in the circuit, the current got modified. And this is one issue when you are trying to use galvanometer as ammeter, that it adds its own resistance to the circuit, and then the current which you are trying to measure, which current we are trying to measure, I, it gets modified, and what you get is I prime. So the measured value is less than the actual value. Of course, you can do one thing. Say, instead of taking galvanometer of 100 ohm, suppose if you take galvanometer of 50 ohm resistor, let us try that also. So again, I will take same battery, 10 volt. Now I will choose another galvanometer, and same resistor will continue with 200 ohm. Let us consider the resistance to be 50 ohm, and let the current be denoted by I double prime. So what is I double prime? What is the current now? Now it will be 10 by 200 plus 50, and that is 10 by 250, and then I double prime will be 0.04 ampere. Not 0.05, but at least better than this one, isn't it? So what we can do is, by choosing galvanometer with less value of G, resistance of galvanometer is indicated by G. So by choosing galvanometer with smaller value of G, we can minimize the error, but we cannot make it zero. Measured value will always be less than the theoretical one. This is one issue when you use galvanometer as ammeter. Second issue is when you try to go from say 100 ohm G to 50 ohm G, there is another problem. Another problem is the current capacity of galvanometer will decrease. As the resistance decreases, it will allow higher value of current to pass through it. And then it is likely to be damaged because current capacity, which is normally indicated by Ig. Ig of any galvanometer is very less. Less current capacity means what? If you allow slightly more current through galvanometer, it is likely to be damaged. The coil of galvanometer will be burned because more current will produce more joule heat, I square RT. Okay, and then the coil will be damaged. So it is like lose-lose situation. If you choose higher G value, then current capacity will be decreased. Current passing through galvanometer will be less, heat produced will be less, but then the error will be more. And if you go for less value of G, then error will be less, but then I square RT will damage the galvanometer. So these are the two issues when you try to use galvanometer as ammeter. And what is the way out? Okay, so what we can do is, if you want to use galvanometer as ammeter, what you should do is take the galvanometer and put it in series with the component through which you are looking for current value, but then put another small value resistor in parallel with the galvanometer. So what happens now? Now this combination, this parallel combination will have less resistance. So effective resistance of this combination is less, which we wanted. Okay, and then so one problem is solved. Effective resistance of the combination will be less. Second problem, that when you connect galvanometer with smaller value resistor, which is called shunt, in parallel, whatever current is passing through the circuit will be divided into two parts. Part of current will pass through galvanometer, let it be Ig, and the remaining current, that is I minus Ig, will pass through shunt. And then your galvanometer is taking only the quantity of current it can tolerate, so it will not be damaged. So this is how you can use galvanometer as current measuring device or galvanometer as ammeter. So this combination is known as ammeter. Okay, so now suppose I have a galvanometer whose current capacity is say 500 milliampere, or you can say half ampere, 0.5 ampere. And in my circuit, um I want to measure 2 ampere current. I know that the current value may be 2 ampere. So what to do? So what we can do is let the G value be 100. And now I want to find out which value of shunt I should connect. So let us go back to the circuit. We are talking about ammeter. Now what is ammeter? A parallel combination of galvanometer and shunt. What is shunt? Shunt is a small value resistance connected in parallel with galvanometer. So this is the circuit I am talking about. How much current is passing through galvanometer? Ig. How much current is passing through shunt? I minus Ig. Okay. So we know that these two are in parallel. So can I say that voltage across shunt is equal to voltage across galvanometer, right? And then I minus Ig into S is equal to Ig into G. Make S subject of formula. So S is equal to G Ig upon I minus Ig. This is the expression of shunt required to convert galvanometer into ammeter of range I. So now let us look at our problem. Our problem was the current capacity of galvanometer was 500 milliampere and we wanted to pass 2 ampere current. So which value of shunt is required? Now I can use this formula to find out shunt value. So let me calculate. So S is equal to, how much was G? 100. So 100, how much is Ig? 500 milliampere, that is 0.5 ampere. I want to pass 2 ampere current minus 0.5. So 50 upon 1.5. So you can simplify this and you can find out how much shunt is required. Approximately it should be 33 ohm. So this is how you can find out which value of shunt is required. So let us look at the formula once again. What is this S? Shunt required. Shunt required for what? Shunt required to convert galvanometer with resistance G, current capacity Ig, into ammeter of current range I. So by connecting a small value resistance in parallel with galvanometer, you can use galvanometer as ammeter. Let us have a look at answer now. Mention the difficulties in using galvanometer as ammeter. So what is ammeter? The device used to measure electric current is called ammeter, and ammeter is always connected in series. Current measuring device is always connected in series. Why can't we use galvanometer directly as current measuring device? Because there are two difficulties when you try to use galvanometer as ammeter without any modification. What is the first problem? First problem is any current measuring device must be connected in series to the component whose current is to be measured. So as mentioned here, if I want to find out current passing through 200 ohm, I'll have to connect galvanometer in series. See, galvanometer is connected in series. So any current measuring device has to be connected in series. When we connect a galvanometer in series to measure the current, the galvanometer will add its own resistance to the circuit and hence current in the circuit is changed. So the current should have been 0.05 ampere, but the moment I connect galvanometer, current got modified. It becomes 0.033. So this is one issue, that when you connect galvanometer as current measuring device, it changes the current which is to be measured. It is supposed to measure current, it is not supposed to change the current, but it happens. This is one issue. Second issue, the current capacity of galvanometer is very small, and hence even with small amount of current passed, it shows full scale deflection, and then if you allow large current to pass through it, galvanometer is likely to be damaged. So these are the two issues when we try to use galvanometer as ammeter without any modification. So how do we do that? How do we use it as ammeter with slight modification? And that is our second question. Explain conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. What you can do in galvanometer so that you can measure current with it. So to convert a galvanometer into ammeter, a resistance having small value is connected in parallel to the galvanometer, and such small value resistance is called shunt. So as the shunt value is less, what happens? The effective resistance of the parallel combination. Which parallel combination we are talking about? We are talking about this parallel combination of shunt and galvanometer. So the effective resistance, of parallel combination of galvanometer and shunt is less than the shunt, and hence when this parallel combination is connected in series, in order to measure the current, the modification of original value of current is very less. Same, there is still modification. Original current still gets modified because you have connected something in series in the circuit. So current is definitely changed. But now the change is tolerable or very less, so you can neglect it. And why the change is small? Because you are talking about parallel combination. So in parallel combination, effective resistance decreases. That is one advantage. Second, the shunt value is less as compared to the resistance of galvanometer. See, our second problem was that the current in the circuit is likely to damage the galvanometer, because if large current passes through the galvanometer, then it will be damaged. So here is the second remedy, that the shunt value is less as compared to the resistance of galvanometer, and as a result, with the parallel combination of shunt, more current passes through the shunt and less current prefers to pass through galvanometer, because galvanometer resistance is high, G is high as compared to S, and then current will pass through shunt, more current will pass through shunt, less current will pass through galvanometer, and then the galvanometer is less likely to be damaged due to passage of high current. So in short, what you should do is use this. Connect a shunt small value resistance in parallel with galvanometer. Okay, so this combination is called ammeter. What is ammeter? Ammeter is this combination, a galvanometer and shunt connected in parallel. So consider a galvanometer with resistance G. Consider current capacity of galvanometer to be Ig. Let this shunt connected to this galvanometer be S as shown in figure. Now if the current in the circuit is I and current passing through the galvanometer is Ig, then the current passing through the shunt must be I minus Ig. Say if total current in the circuit is I, and if we want galvanometer to take only Ig, how much current will go here remaining? That is I minus Ig. But as the two are in parallel, their voltage should be same. Okay, so V is equal to IR. Vs is current into resistance, Vg is current into resistance. Make S subject of formula, and this is what you get. The above expression is the expression of shunt required to convert galvanometer with current capacity Ig and resistance G into an ammeter with current capacity I. So if you know your galvanometer, if you know how much is the G value and how much is the IG value, you can figure out how much shunt is required if you want to pass or measure I amount of current through it. So this is the expression of shunt required to convert galvanometer into emitter, and that was the topic. I hope you could understand. Thank you.